Lead the way.
Yeah.
Don't leave anything behind.
take your will, mortal fools!
That'll teach him.
This battle belongs to you, but wait until next time!
Oh, I got sand in my mouth. Here we go! Ha!
We can regale the court with tales of how Paragon bravely wrestled 7 volumes to the ground. He'll have the paper cut.
Are you trying to
prove it.
marinate before the giant salamander roasts you? Please, excuse me, but I was rather hoping to finish this next chapter of my book. I hope you understand. A good question. Hunting, ostensibly. We're to claim some dangerous beast to prove ourselves the rightful masters of these isles, an antiquated tradition. The giant salamander. A hard quarry to miss, unless you've spent most of the day with your head in a keg. Books have more interesting things to say, and in the unlikely event that we do stumble across our prey, I would like to know what we are up against. It's good you asked. They're a tricky foe. Giant salamanders are highly adaptable and have a volatile relationship with the elements. Fire, lightning, you name it, and they can change their affinities seemingly at will. It seems the hunt must go on. Please excuse me.
Hey! I'm all ears. Anything for you. I don't know the first thing about wine, but... You need something, friend? I didn't even hear it click.
Can you believe there was a spy in the Thalmor at Woodhalf? Yes?
for a soul in need.
Greetings.
Sorry, Tree. We needed your flesh chunk.
Hello. Honestly, I think she plans to do something rash. She might even attack the guards. Ugh. Never. Ah, another newcomer. Delightful. What exactly can I do for you? What keen ears you have. You heard us discussing a private matter from way over there? Impressive. Perhaps you can put that inquisitive nature to good use. A newcomer, much like you, is stirring up trouble here in Lillannril. A member of the Mages Guild murdered a sapiarch, but now the murderer's friend is railing against the conviction, loudly. Poke some sense into her, would you? She might listen to another guest. You'll find her outside the Fighters Guild.
Honestly, why can't you newcomers just return to your own lands? Weren't you happier there?
Though the waters off Lillandril have some of the best fishing in Somerset, the College of Sapiarchs holds exclusive rights to the area. It helps if your cousin's wife is younger sister to the Sapiarch of Oceanic Occurrences chambermaid.
New in town? Well, welcome to Lillandril, newcomer. A bit of friendly advice. Have a care around the sapiarchs. They can be prickly.
No. Finally, the courier. I expected you hours ago. You must acquire my materials at once. And don't think I'll compensate you for the rush, given you're the one who was late. Oh, well, I can hardly keep track of every face I hire. An artist's work is endless. I need colors. Rich, rare, vibrant. After all, this painting will be the masterpiece of my career. I simply cannot work with mediocre shades. Reagents, ingredients, naturally, of course. I require that you gather the supplies needed to make the vivid paint this masterwork requires. Just take this list. Oh, and this tea, of course, you'll need it to acquire the first item. Now hurry along. I really do need you to hurry along. Inspiration could strike me at any moment, and I simply must have the perfect colors when that time comes. Oh, of course, you're a fan. Well, I'm not surprised my popularity precedes me. I'm sure it's not every day that you meet an artist of my caliber. As long as it doesn't delay you for too long, you may ask me some questions. From what I gather, Somerset views its artists rather differently than the rest of Tamriel. It's one of the few ways to rise above your family's station and enter the world of the elite. This masterpiece shall be my final step. Oh, no. Being a renowned artist is a station all its own, and a highly respected one at that. From this generation forth, my descendants shall say my name with reverence. What more could one ask for? I'm known for my art, yes, but I need something to set me apart. A painting that shall hang for centuries, worshipped by those who gaze upon it. To do so, I need breathtaking, resplendent colors, vivid, powerful, emotional. Hamelin's dye produces the most gorgeous teal you'll ever see. The Yokudan tea I've given you should be a good enough trade. Brodron's bug carcasses create grays with flashes of silver. He's already received payment, so just tell him my name. The Aurealis. Oh, such a glowing orange it produces. Beautiful enough to bring tears to your eyes. The flowers are rare, but I happen to know a hilltop where they still grow. I've marked all the locations for you in the note.
hard at work, Tindoria? How goes your finger painting?
Ah, very well. I see you've deigned to step out of your florid abode. Come to see how a real artist creates.
I'd enlighten you with a response, but we both know my skill speaks for itself.
Why, you're certainly skilled at boasting. If only you had the artistic sense Auriel gave a mudharper, you might produce something of worth.
Your tongue remains as sharp as your wits. When I'm declared the royal court's newest artist, I'll be sure to send you an invitation to dinner.
What a kind offer, though I'm sure that won't be necessary. After all, we both know that I'll be the one to acquire that position.
So, you volunteered to collect Tindoria's arduous list of artistic materials? How exciting. Do try not to get eaten by anything unpleasant. Who am I? Honestly, I'm shocked you haven't heard of me. My works of brilliance are desired across all Somerset. My name reverberates throughout the land on the lips of nobles and commoners alike. An artist? No. I am the artist. I assure you, my confidence is well earned. Unlike poor Tindoria, she tries her best, but those with an eye for these sorts of things know the truth. She lacks a certain something. Hate, that's quite a strong term. Why, we're simply friendly rivals. It's always been that way ever since we trained together under Hainamil. Truly, I relish our time together. I'm simply the better artiste.
With a port city like Lillandril, you can expect the occasional Maormer attack. We don't get it nearly as rough as Sunhold, though. They're usually the first to be hit.
Hail.
With the border open, more orders have started coming in for exotic meat. Any idea where I can get my hand on some netch?
Well?
You know, I always wanted to be an artist, but as you can plainly see, the stars had other plans for me, such as helping you.
All my high elf customers get upset over the smallest thing. I've become so stressed, my spines have started to droop. Please, brighten my day with a purchase.
So, this is the city of Lillandril, huh? It is certainly breathtaking. Not as much glowing as I imagined, but still, wow. Well, it might be silly, but I just wanted to see Somerset. You hear all kinds of legends about this island. The cities, the creatures, the magic. I wanted to have a look myself. Lillandril was just where I ended up. I'm a fisher by trade. Surprisingly, the thing I admire most is the Mer who live here. Oh, don't get me wrong, the High Elves can be a right pain in the arse, but they take pride in what they do. Anyone can find honor if they work hard enough, even a simple fisher like me.
I see that glint in your eye, Karam. You're looking to make a purchase.
What?
another femme. Well, isn't that just what Lillandril needs right now?
Greetings.
Hello.
Well, go on. Someone needs to talk some sense into that woman before she causes even more problems.
Thankfully, neither the Sapiarchs nor members of the Mages Guild seem interested in drinking here. It's one of the few places where I can find peace and quiet.
Hurrah! Just know my inn accepts any and all, and if you have a problem with any of the guests, just speak to me.
On the beach I wander still, gaze out at the sea, hope to see her
Hello.
shining face, smiling back at me. Star-eyed
Greetings.
of Alan, whose last words were my name. Star-eyed bride of Alenor, I still weep
Hail.
from the shade.
Hello?
Star-eyed bride of Alan, lost in storm and spray. My star-eyed bride of Alenor, cruel fate took away.
Who in oblivion are you? I left explicit instructions with the manager of this establishment that I was not to be disturbed under any circumstances. Let's keep our voice down, shall we? So, the Hulkind disappoints once again. How utterly expected. As the one who delivered my parcel, I suspect you'll want the reward. Have it, and be off with you. I'm astonished the Hulkind refused to complete this task himself. I'm sure honest work isn't easy to come by for one of his status. Something more important than the obligation he had to me. Hulkins have no sense of honor. It comes with being raised without a family, you know. That's why no one trusts them. Of course, an femme such as yourself wouldn't understand. A family sets expectations. Here in Somerset, all we do is for our family's honor. There's no hope for someone who doesn't have even that to guide them. You do not, cannot understand the painstaking preparation, the ritual consumption, and the artful flavors of an Indric heart. It is a delicacy fit for only the finest gourmets. The question itself betrays your unworthiness for such pleasures.
Hail.
Tenigwe is the kindest high elf I've yet to meet. She always has my back. I'm sure she'd help you out too, if you need it. But for now, what can I help you with? We newcomers have to stick together. Not sure how else we're going to make it here. But here I am, yammering on. Did you come in for something?
To stop the plague So he called for aid all throughout the land. Oh, Sirabane, oh, Sirabane, ye myrrh of godly faith. Oh, Sirabane, oh, Sirabane, the youngest of the age. Man and Myrrh took up the call. They knew they could not fail. Together they combined their might. The all-flagged navy sailed with Bendu Olo at his side, slinging sword and spell. He beat back the tide, the coral.
I'm in the middle of something.
Oh, Sirabane, oh, Sirabane, ye myrrh of godly faith. Oh, Sirabane, oh, Sirabane, the youngest of the age. Now, good Myrrh, remember well the tale of Sirabane. For when dark times came to pass, he knew to ask for aid. Oh, Sirabane.
You've caught me at a busy time.
What are we drinking to?
What do you want?
Sometimes I wish the criminals and lawbreakers would take a holiday. Then the officers of the Divine Prosecution could catch up on our paperwork. Is there something you need, newcomer? A writ of authenticity for a Nord ambassador? That's a highly unusual request, considering that a newcomer is the one making it. The Divine Prosecution requires weeks, sometimes even months, to properly audit diplomatic credentials. Vindilwyn, she loves to engage in the commerce of favors. Very well, a cup and bowl were stolen from the Alinor Palace. Favorites of the Queen, I'm told. Recover these items, and I might be persuaded to issue Rigurt a writ of authenticity. Ideas? Plenty. Proof? Nothing that would hold up in a court of law. Not yet, anyway. But I'm more concerned with recovering the items. Stolen goods usually find their way to the pirates in Waston Coraldale. I'd start my search there if I were you.
Get away, Athim! Away from me! Away from our island!
Stay strong, Emil. I'll get you out of this.
Secure the prisoner in the Fighters Guild. Off you go.
You're a member of the Mages Guild, aren't you? Please, you have to help me. The Sapiarchs accused one of our compatriots, my best friend, of a murder he didn't commit. They won't even consider the possibility that he's innocent. Another Sapiarch named Haladon. Emil arrived at the gates of Lillandril, carrying Haladon's body, and confessed to the crime. But he seemed shocked, confused. I know Emil better than anyone. He's not capable of something like this. I swear it. He's a pacifist for Mara's sake. The Sapiarch's investigation was a joke. They just took Emil at his word and handed down the sentence. Of course, the local guild magister rolled over like she always does. Coward. Please, I need your help. The Sapiarchs say Emil confessed to murdering Haladon, but he'd never murder anyone. He loved Haladon. I don't know if he's confused or disoriented, but I do know he wouldn't do it. Please, talk to Emil. Convince him to recant his confession. Emil and I are both members of the Mages Guild chapter here in Lillandril, and students of the guild's chief diplomat, Kalawende. As for our relationship, Emil is my dearest friend. Has been since we were both in diapers. I don't know if he'll listen to anyone, but I don't have a choice. The Sapiarchs and Mages Guild consider the matter settled, and they've forbidden me from speaking to Emil further. No one has forbidden you to speak to him. You can still reach him. An order of high elf scholars and mages. They walk the halls of power here in Somerset, observing and advising. Of course, there's a thin line between advising and ruling by proxy. They're not over fond of us guild mages. They think we're reckless. To the Sapiarchs, stepping in puddles is reckless. Not folding your linens is reckless. By their standards, my 90-year-old grandmother is wild as a foal in springtime. No, the guild values new ideas, novel approaches, but it's far from reckless. He and Emil were very close. If you'd asked me before all this happened, I'd have wagered that one or the other was shopping for a ring of Mara. They had common interests, but more than that, they had common values. Gods, what a tragedy. Restoration magic, wards against disease and curses, that sort of thing. They'd been researching ways to prevent lycanthropy, vampirism, and other afflictions. You see, the Emil I know dedicated his life to healing people, not murdering them. Absolutely not. Emil's gentle as a lamb, and Haladon didn't have a conniving bone in his body. The tension between the guild and the Sapiarchs weighed on them a bit, but not so much that it would drive them apart. Like I said, Emil is innocent.
If you insist on involving yourself in some vain investigatory charade, I won't stop you, but tread carefully. The Sapiarchs have little tolerance for amateur detectives. Who are you? Hand of Auriel, what has Queen Irene wrought? I am Sorataril, Sapiarch Master of Psychocartography, the mapping of orbic thought forms and dream phenomena. I also find myself saddled with the role of cultural attaché. I interact with all manner of strange and uncultured individuals, but yes, I maintain relations between my order and the Mages Guild's new arrivals. A trying enterprise. Please, if only for my sake, keep your business here peaceable, all right?
At least my rank as Hall Steward garners some respect. Or perhaps it's my blade which keeps the High Elves in line. Feel free to tell these Mer what guild you belong to. Invoke some fear. It's better than contempt.
Can those skinny arms even swing a blade? Well, I suppose I can't deny you a purchase.
I don't have anything to say to you or anyone else. Please, go. Yes. She's wrong. What? No, no! They already did an investigation. I murdered Haladon. It was me. Why are you inserting yourself into matters that don't concern you? I murdered a sapiarch. I accept responsibility and my punishment. Go away. I don't want your help.
You there? Why are you interrogating Emil? I am Kalawende, Chief Diplomat of the Mages Guild. I apologize for my tone. This has been a trying time. The Sapiarchs consider this matter closed, you know. What are you doing exactly? Who sent you? Our interests may align. Vivine, look, I've uncovered something odd as well. The Sapiarchs have made it very difficult for me to intervene directly. Perhaps you can help. Emil met a shady merchant named Galador prior to the murder. That's very out of character for him. That's what I came here to find out. But it seems Emil doesn't want to talk. Galador has deep connections to Lillandril smugglers and thieves. If you learn what Emil purchased from Galador, we might gain some insight into Haladon's murder. Galador stores his business ledger in one of the inn's larger suites. Unfortunately, he placed a hex on the book, making it impossible to read without a passphrase. If you discover the passphrase, you should be able to learn what Emil purchased. My contacts tell me that Galador left the city on business. Goodness knows what kind. No one will accost you while you investigate. Just be careful. It cannot become known the Mages Guild is investigating this matter after the Sapiarchs forbid it. She is tenacious. She often volunteers to help others. You won't find a more zealous advocate for the Mages Guild's goals and mission. In truth, I've never had a greater pupil, aside from Emil, of course. In my experience, people use talent as an excuse for idleness and lack of effort. Emil and Vivine both enjoy great natural ability, but Emil's focus on restoration magic indicates purer motives. He also works harder than anyone I know. Truthfully, I'd love to, but as a diplomat, I don't have that luxury. The Sapiarchs consider the matter settled, and officially our Mages Guild has accepted their ruling. I have a duty to preserve our relations with the Sapiarchs. It has exacerbated tensions that already exist. The Sapiarchs see this murder as evidence of our negligence. Members of the Guild resent it, so we're caught in something of a downward spiral. Yes, the guard who found Emil, Milleron, the Sapiarchs classified him as a Ryazen, a critical witness. Anyone with close ties to Emil is forbidden to speak with him, but not you. I'll find out where they've hidden Milleron. You look into Galador.
Back again?
I don't have anything to say to you or anyone else. Please, go.
I thought being stationed to Somerset would present new challenges, but the only thing I grapple with is whether to put my trousers on before noon.
What is it?
Yes?
Hello there.
Ma always said I had a voice like a bird. Maybe that's what I'll audition with. A song. I'll have to ask Daring to give me some recommendations. Something that will really get the House of Reveries fired up.
The College of Sapiarchs has some fine plant specimens. You don't need to be a sapiarch of ornamental greenery to notice that.
I used to guide travelers all over this coast, from Korgrad to Alinor. But then those vile creatures started swarming ashore. It's better to stay in a place with walls.
Over here. I trust you were successful. My own inquiries were fruitful. I've learned where we must go next in this investigation. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Did you manage to break Galador's wards? What did you find? Honestly, what would Emil want with sheep's blood? And syringes? I'd suspect blood magic or chemical addiction if I didn't know Emil. Neither of those items are illegal. He must have bought them from Galador to keep the purchase a secret. I'll try to figure out what Emil wanted with these items. Meanwhile, I found the guard who arrested Emil, Millerant. I'm forbidden to speak to him, but you are not. The Sapiarchs moved Millerant to Lillandril's docks. Find out what he knows.
What is it?
Welcome to Lillandril. just off the boat. Lots of sailors coming and going. Just don't forget to submit your shipping manifests to the harbor master. Unless there's something else you need. Sad business, that. I was at my post when I saw Emil with a body slung over his shoulder. Once he reached the gate, he slid Haladan's corpse onto the ground and collapsed. He just knelt there sobbing, saying, "I killed him over and over." He didn't seem mad, if that's what you're asking, but he wasn't lucid either. When it comes to murderers, I've met more than my fair share. So you can trust me when I say Emil's no murderer. He might have killed Haladan, but it wasn't on purpose. Look, you need to promise me you'll keep this to yourself. Saltbreeze Cave is just south of here. Well-worn entrance, wizard's tools scattered about. I tried to tell the Sapiarchs about it, but your answers are in that cave. Guaranteed. This business with Emil was just too odd. Once the Sapiarchs convicted him, I had to find the truth of it. I took my coursing hound, Othelus, down to the gate and had him follow Haladan's blood trail. It led right to the mouth of that cave. No, Saltbreeze has a sour reputation. It used to be a popular haunt for the city youth to drink, sing, fornicate, that sort of thing. Then we lost a pair of lovebirds in a salamander attack. It's been abandoned ever since. At least we thought so. Of course they did. They'd already declared Emil guilty of the murder. Can't lose face over something like this. You got a confession, Milleron, just let it go. Humph. They're just anxious to be done with this whole affair. That's the other thing. Haladan looked like he'd been thrown off a cliff. Legs broken, blood leaking out of his ears, collapsed ribcage. You tell me how a wiry Breton could do that to someone. Doesn't make a whit of sense. Unless he can conjure up a stone club the size of an ox yoke, I just can't imagine it. I'll tell you to examine the body yourself, but the Sapiarchs already burned it. Convenient.
To knock some heads.
teach them a lesson.
Who's there? Emil? Is that you? Where is Haladan? Is he all right? Auriel, forgive me. Please listen carefully. Emil did not murder Haladan. I swear it. The two of them only sought to help me. I suffered from a mysterious affliction. Haladan and Emil infected me with vampirism to halt the disease's progress. Gods, no! I came here with my companion Gerwadel. By the time we arrived, her illness was terminal. Emil tried to administer the cure to her too, but she broke free and attacked Haladan. There was so much shouting. I thought maybe they escaped. Stone abominations. Vampiric alchemy. If the Sapiarchs found out that Haladan had a hand in this tragedy, they would strike his name from the histories. Emil would never let that happen. Read Haladan's notes, you'll see the truth of it. They called it osteochondritic fever. A rare virus that hardens the skin like stone and oyster shell. And as if that weren't bad enough, it also drives you insane. Gerwadel had already succumbed to the madness when she attacked Haladan. We were part of a merchant fleet that got blown off course, wound up beached on an island full of slowed mischief. Something in the air there, or perhaps the water. All of us were infected. So far as I know, I'm the only one that survived. Truthfully, because he was the kindest, most generous mayor I've ever known. We were childhood friends, you see. When I wrote to him about my condition, he didn't even hesitate. He just bid me come to Lillandril, no questions asked. I believe so. The fog is gone. The flop sweats and sleepless nights with dreams of blood and stone. But the cost was high. Too high. Poor Haladan. And now there's the hunger. Yes, I can feel it creeping up the back of my throat. That thirst. It was just a tickle at first. Now, who knows how far it will go? Emil brewed this form of the virus alchemically. Maybe this will pass and I won't need to feed it all. I can hope. Never. Enough people have suffered on my account. Anyway, how would I find them? The shale skin disease claimed my sight before Emil had the chance to administer the treatment. I will find a way to survive without harming others. You have my word.
My new condition does have a few benefits. My senses are keener now than they've ever been. I can hear the flutter of a moth's wings and smell lichens in the next room. It's enough. It will have to be enough. Absolutely. Halidon and Emil loved each other deeply. It was obvious from the moment I arrived. Emil would never let something he did jeopardize Halidon's reputation. Were their roles reversed, Halidon would do the same thing. Guaranteed. I don't think you understand the Sapiarchs. It wouldn't be a simple matter of not praying over Halidon's grave. They would expunge his memory entirely. Every discovery he made, every scholarly paper, everything. It would be like he never existed. Undoubtedly. The Sapiarchs would probably dispatch a few vampire hunters to find me. But don't worry about that. I'll find a way to take care of myself.
hurry to Lilllandrail, prove Emil's innocence. I'll find my way. But somehow...
Emil will try to talk you out of revealing Haladan's plan to the Sapiarchs. He knows it would tarnish Haladan's legacy, and I know he wants to protect me. Don't listen. I can protect myself. Save Emil. That's what Haladan would want. You're back. Did you find any evidence that might exonerate Emil? You must have found something.
What did Guard Milleron have to say? Were you able to discover anything that might shed light on Haladan's murder?
You again? I told you, I don't want to talk about this. I'm guilty. What? No. No, you're mistaken. No. You can't believe her. She's lying. I attacked Haladan. I killed him. You're making this up. No one will believe it. No. Please, you must burn those notes. If the Sapiarchs learn what Haladan and I did, he'll be ruined. Disgraced. All his work will be for nothing. And Norasea... Mara, save me. Poor Norasea. They'll kill her. Please, you must keep this a secret.
By Magnus, if what you say is true, Emil's innocent. You seem hesitant. Don't get bogged down in the details of his experiments. The important thing is that he didn't murder Haladan. You have to take this to the Sapiarchs. She's a vampire. I grew up in Shornhelm, and I know how dangerous they are. They drink people's blood for Mara's sake. Look, I pity Norasea, but we can't destroy Emil's life over one bad decision. Setting a vampire free is reckless. You know that. Haladan's dead, and if he truly loved Emil, he would gladly suffer humiliation to keep his beloved out of prison. You know that. As for the Guild endures. We'll be fine. Just do the right thing.
Poor Emil. He meant well. But these are shocking revelations. I never thought he'd be so reckless. Creating a potion to deliberately infect someone with vampirism? By the eight. If this gets out, the Sapiarchs may never trust us again. I care for Emil, but I have a whole guild to consider. We've brought many outsiders to Somerset, and our relations here are tenuous at best. Even if Emil didn't murder Haladan, creating a potion this hazardous is still grounds for exile. I spoke to Sapiarch Saratarel. If Emil makes a full confession, the Sapiarchs will let us handle the details of his imprisonment. I've arranged for Emil to return to Stormhaven. A familiar setting, sympathetic guards. It's the best I can do. No, but then there are many forms of freedom. Wouldn't you agree? Emil will have access to our vast library and ample opportunity to write and publish. He can still play a vital role in the advancement of the arcane arts. You have my word.
There's nothing to consider. Even if I didn't kill Halidon, the vampirism was my idea. He never would have agreed to it if I hadn't pushed him. Halidon meant more to me than you'll ever know. His memory is all I have left. Don't ruin it. Please. Oh, Mara bless you. Losing Halidon was awful. I still see his bloody face with my waking eyes. The only thing keeping me sane is the knowledge that I might spare his reputation and the friend he dearly loved. Thank you for this kindness.
How can you condemn an innocent man to prison? He's obviously out of his mind with grief. I'd find a way to exonerate him myself if I thought anyone would listen. Damn your eyes! And the sapiarchs!
I know this wasn't easy. Condemning an innocent man to prison makes me nauseous. But sometimes sacrifices have to be made for the greater good. As odd as it sounds, I think your decision brought Emil some measure of peace. Thank you.
Thank you once again. Halidon was the wisest, kindest, most beautiful soul I've ever known. I don't know if I'll ever fully recover from this, but the knowledge that his memory lives on sets my mind at ease.
You have new evidence to present? Very well. I trust your investigation was thorough and unbiased? Or rather, as thorough and unbiased as an itinerant newcomer can manage. What new evidence do you wish to enter into the official record? Well, that is a surprise. As farcical as your investigation might have been, I appreciate your willingness to side with the facts. It does much to restore my opinion of the Mages Guild in Lillandril. I've already spoken with the guild diplomat, Kalawende. We resolved to send Emil back to Stormhaven. Leaving a Breton to rattle around in a high elf prison would reflect poorly on all of us. Better to imprison him among his own kind. Mercifully, yes. The Mages Guild promised to imprison Emil for the rest of his brief Breton life. I have no reason to doubt their sincerity, given your honesty today. Let us put this matter behind us. The Guild and the Sapiarchs must move forward. Now then, I see no reason to delay Emil's exile. I will formalize his conviction today, have him turned over to the Mages Guild shortly thereafter. This sordid affair has caused enough pain. I'll not draw it out. Your honesty and Kalawende's willingness to accede to our demands give me hope for the future. The Mages Guild suffers from all the vices of youth, but perhaps, with our help, it can grow into an organization worthy of its proud high elf heritage.
Praise the Eight, and praise be to you for your bravery at Torinan.
I'm not in the mood for conversation. Go chat up another stranger.
Hail.
Hello.
Well?
This is taking longer than I'd planned.
I've checked over Lillandril from top to bottom, and there's no sign of the Court of Bedlam. I can't get the Portal Master to let me go to the college compound, though. Have you brought permission from the Proxy Queen? Good, good. I was about to turn that insignificant book dust into something small, wet, and slimy. It would have made matters worse, but it might have brightened the dark mood I've been in. Sorry, I don't mean to burden you with my troubles. No, the mission is more important than personal matters. I'm sure Lathan will turn up, eventually. In the meantime, you should talk to the Portal Master and see if she's ready to grant us access to the college. Lathan and I met when we were initiates of the Sijic Order. We fell in love and married, had a daughter. We had all the things we ever wanted. And then everything changed. After we lost our daughter, Lathan grew distant, more subdued. It happened ages ago, after a long illness. We lived on an island filled with the most accomplished sages of our age, and there was nothing that could be done. We tried. I tried. But the illness took her in the end. Lathan was never the same. No, it wasn't like that. When the Right Master first learned of the possible Daedric threat, Lathan volunteered to look into it. We both thought it would be good for Lathan to get away, give him something to occupy his time. Then he disappeared. Lathan's reports became less frequent. Then he stopped sending them altogether. I'd know if he was dead, but he could be a prisoner or hurt. My main concern right now is the threat posed by the Daedric princes. Lathan will have to wait.
What do you want now?
Yes?
Hello there.
Only a select few are allowed to join the Sapiarchs. They only accept mages of exceptional skill and quality to join their ranks. Why, to even be put under consideration is near impossible for most. There's 223 distinct disciplines within the Sapiarchs, and only one Sapiarch is allowed to lead that discipline. Each selects only a handful of apprentices, those they feel are worthy of one day taking over such a prestigious position. The process varies. Some apprentices submit letters of their intent for review. Others are recommended by respected members of the magical community. A select few are even lucky enough to be simply asked based on their magical merit. Yes, I have to agree. Still, I can't help but hold hope in my heart. Someday, even a mage such as I will be worthy of the Sapiarchs. That is my dream, above all else.
back again.
Another newcomer in such an unwelcoming land. Surely you feel pity for a fellow outcast. This one only needs a little gold to get himself started. Some food, some clothes, and he will be a new Khajiit. Perhaps you would be willing to help with such a transformation. Oh, noble soul. Min Bazal will never forget your kindness. With this, he shall forge a new life for himself. 1,000 blessings be upon you.
Hello again.
I've checked over Lillendrill from top to bottom, and there's no sign of the Court of Bedlam. I can't get the Portal Master to let me go to the college compound, though. Have you brought permission from the Proxy Queen?
Not now, please.
I really must prepare for tonight's lecture. Besides, only those with permission may enter the College of Sapiarchs. We can't have just anyone wandering around the compound. So you're the luminary the proxy queen wants me to treat with kid gloves. And I suppose the arrogant Psijic is with you? Oh, very well. Let's get this over with. That was you. Thanks for bringing the truth to light. I still can't believe a member of the Mages Guild could kill someone in cold blood. Hallodan was an exemplary sapiarch. He'll be interred in the Labyrinth crypts with full honors. The compound has been purposely isolated to serve as a sanctuary and place of study. Research and scholarship require solitude and quiet, after all. We use magic to travel back and forth. I'll prepare the portal dais when you're ready to cross. Just follow me and step onto the dais. By the 7 sacred texts! Who has dared invade this place of learning?
I've got this. You talk to that sapiarch.
This is unheard of. Attacked in our own sanctuary?
This is an abomination. A travesty. Attacking the sapiarchs. Daedra in the college. It's highly unusual. I can't stay here. It's too dangerous.
This is terrible. Please excuse my present state, as I am distraught beyond all rational thought. I never imagined that Daedra would attack our compound. It's madness. Forgive my lapse in protocol. I am Elamil, sapiarch of Daedric fallacies. Happened? Oh, it isn't over yet. There was no warning. Daedra filled the compound. So many great minds cut down. We were able to clear the courtyard, but there's more inside. I fear for the safety of the head sapiarch and our other sages. The Crystal Tower? You need to speak to Lilllandrail, sapiarch of arcanology and head of our college. She's trapped inside with those monsters. I suggest you enter through the labyrinth beneath the compound. Just watch out for the Daedra.
According to the maps I studied, the labyrinth is this way.
I'll return to Lilllandrail and warn the guards.
Good idea. Perhaps I should accompany you.
There's more to this than a simple Daedric incursion. I felt a strange sensation when we arrived. A sense of urgency. We need to hurry and find the trapped sapiarchs. Sometimes. Probably has something to do with living on a displaced island and being part of the Psijic Order. We knew the 3 Daedric princes were a threat, but this is our first clear evidence of their hostile intent. Even scholars have ways to defend themselves. Which reminds me, I can protect myself, but I'm not much good in a raging battle. I'll try to stay behind you and keep out of the way. Now, let's hurry and go save the sapiarchs.
place is enormous.
Close my eyes. What I needed.
I'd like to explore this compound one day and see what David are about, of course.
Was that it? Give it your all.
We should be able to reach the upper levels through there. This way. I hear voices up ahead.
No more sages need die today, Sapiarch. Just give me the diamond keys.
The Resolute Diamonds are not mine to give, especially not to a Daedric cultist.
Lathan! Stop!
Valcerin! No, damn you!
You and your companion arrived in the proverbial nick of time. Now, if you wouldn't mind, who in Oblivion are you, and how did you know the College of Sapiarchs was under assault? First, the cultist leads an army of Daedra into our compound and demands I turn over the Resolute Diamonds. Now, you arrive with a warning from the long-absent sages of Artaeum. I think you need to explain yourself before we go any further. That's impossible. We would know if the tower's defenses had been breached. But it would explain the disasters currently befalling the Somerset Isle. Let's say I believe you. What does the Right Master suggest as the next step? A reasonable plan, but access to the tower requires the Resolute Diamonds, which are guarded by the tower's sentinels. Only they can use the keys. I suppose they are the next targets. We need to warn Hanael and Imidril at the Illumination Academy. We appreciate your aid in this matter. Before you head to the Illumination Academy, perhaps you can have your friend get that cultist out of my compound. As it is, it's going to take weeks to get rid of the stench of Daedra. Every 11 years, 2 Sapiarchs are selected to undergo a long and extensive ritual to attune them to the Resolute Diamonds, the keys that open the Crystal Tower. These sentinels guard the diamonds and utilize them to grant access to the tower. The Azure Diamonds are a matched set, specifically attuned to a pair of Sapiarchs at any given time. Only an attuned sentinel can use a diamond key, and both keys are required to open the path into the tower. Who can say how much the cultist actually knows about the diamonds and their function? The Daedric prince he serves, however, has magic enough to utilize the diamonds. That's why we must make sure the sentinels are safe and out of harm's way. In addition to their sentinel duties, Hanael and Imidril also serve as scholars in the College of Sapiarchs. They have research to conduct, lectures to give. For their own protection, however, their identities as sentinels are known only to a few. That's our standard practice. Difficult times call for desperate measures, however. You need to know who they are so you can find them and return them to our compound. Hanael needed to use the Academy Library, and Imidril accompanied her. Let's leave these Psijics to their work. We have a college to put back together.
I can't believe I was concerned about the welfare of my husband. To find Lathan here, threatening the Sapiarchs and leading a horde of Daedra. How could he betray the Order like that? How could he betray me? A simple spell of binding. His attention was so focused on the Sapiarchs, he wasn't prepared to deal with another Psijic mage. While you go and find the Tower Sentinels at the Illumination Academy, I'll take Lathan back to Artaeum. I almost hope he gives me a little trouble. I could use a reason to unleash some pain and suffering on this turncoat. Don't worry. My spell will hold until we reach the confines of Kapora Tower.
You there. Tell my darling wife to release me, and I'll ask Mathala to kill you quickly when the new age dawns. Spinner saved me from fools and altruistic adventurers. Valsrin turned her back on me and my daughter a long time ago. Is it any wonder I've found acceptance and a purpose among the court of Bedlam? Don't presume to judge my actions, you insignificant flea. I am an earl in the court of Bedlam now, chosen personally by Mathala to represent her on this all-too-fragile world. Leave me. I'm done speaking to you now.
The Illumination Academy lies to the east of Lillandril. That's the last known location of the Tower Sentinels, Hanael and Imidril. May the 11 virtues of knowledge grant you the speed to reach them before the court of Bedlam does.
To be attacked in our own college. I always thought this was the safest place in the world. How will I ever feel secure enough to lose myself in my books and research again? That is a rather simplistic view of a complex problem. But I guess I do feel a little bit better now. I'm not sure I'll ever forget when that cultist killed Grenadil, though. It was all so sudden and chaotic. One moment everything was serene and quiet as usual. I was organizing the college's collection of cookbooks and recipe tomes. Next thing I know, people are screaming. I ran to find Sapiarch Larnatiel. The cultist demanded that we give him the diamond keys to the crystal-like law, which you probably know as the Crystal Tower. The Sapiarch of Archanology refused, of course. That's when the Daedric-worshipping scum killed Grenadil. Grenadil stepped in front of Sapiarch Larnatiel, trying to protect her. She always was braver than she was sensible. She had barely begun to cast a spell when the cultist gestured, and she collapsed. She was dead before she hit the ground.